Welcome to another edition of Totally Awesome Fishing, where this time it's a little bit different from the freshwater scene, and I'm going to go beach fishing. I'm down on Hayling Island, which is in the south of Hampshire. It's winter, it's cold. This may be the only time you see the yellow jumper because I'm packing it on. It's late afternoon, there's a blow coming in, there's rain coming in. I'm just trying to beat everything to try and get you some pictures of whiting, which is a great fish to catch, and a good eating fish to catch off the beach. And you can catch them on quite light tackle. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I've set myself up between the groins. There's an open area at Hayling Island, and there's a groined area which stops all the erosion of the beach further up. And I've just tucked myself inside. It's a southwesterly blow that's coming, which is sort of that way. And I've got this big screen of wood panels here, lovely sleepers there, the groin for protection. The first thing is, everybody knows if you're beach fishing, you've got to make base camp. And that's what I've done here. I might even get a fire going later on. It's cold. I'm going to be putting more clothes on as the night comes on. I'm also going to be fishing a little bit shorter. Now, beach fishing normally, years ago, used to be 120, 140 yards minimum. But because there's been a blow about 4 or 5 days ago, you get these slipper limpets down here on the Hayling area, and indeed up and down the south coast, which are all broken up, you know, off the seabed. They're brought in, they're tumbled over and crushed up. They break out their shells and the fish are feeding. Now, I may be a little bit late. I think I'm about 2 days late to get the best of the fishing, but I had no choice. I've had to come down when I've got to come down, and that's it. Now, up and down the beach where they get this big blow, it pounds everything up, breaks all the weed off the seabed, all the kelp, and it's attached by stones like this. So in fact the weed is hanging, and this is up in the air like this. Well, attached to those as well, and on the seabed generally, are loads and loads of these slipper limpets. These are empty ones, and they've been pounded to oblivion, and the fish know after a blow these are going to be in there. So what happens to these loose ones? They just get pounded up and make more detritus on the seabed. But these ones, whole different ball game. They've still got the limpets inside them. You can just see how often they'll stack and stick to each other, one on top of the other. There's a bunch there. You should be able to see those. They just stick like this, and if you get a penknife, don't use a sharp blade on this, and you just get in that knuckle there, and you just work it apart. Now you can pop them apart, and lo and behold, inside there is, just scoop it out. If I can show you that, get him right out, and there is a nice slipper limpet bait. Now that's first class. Flounders, bass, everything eats these. But I say I might be a little bit late for those, so I've got a backup bait. I've got some frozen sandals, but very, very small ones, because as I say, I'm after whiting, and I bought some ragworm. And this is how I hook them up. Now these are baits I've got. As you can see, I've got the slipper limpets here. You can use these as a tipping bait, but they don't cast really well. But if you're fishing close in, just a 30-40 yard lob, they're good, and you can tip off baits. I've also got sand eels, and these were actually caught locally in Langston Harbour back in the summer, and somebody gave me a load to freeze down, and waste not, what not, they got in the freeze, and I think these are just small enough. I might get whiting on those. And the rag, which are dug locally, Portsmouth Harbour again, they give you a few giant stranglers like this one, which is sort of what I call bass size, and then you get these smaller ones, better for the whiting, any sort of flatfish we can find. So fingers crossed, we might catch some fish. I'm going to be using fixed spool reels, not multipliers. Pretty ancient fixed spool reels for me. They got 15 to 18 pound line. The yellow line is 30 pound shock lead. I normally use 50 for multiplier fishing, but as I said, I'm not casting hard, I'm not casting a long way. 50 to 100 yards, that's all. Grip lead at the bottom, 5 or 6 ounce, and then 2 paternosters on snoods standing off there with quite a long drop. A 1/0 hook, fine wire Aberdeen hook, and a little tip here, if you just see it. I just tie a fisherman's loop off here, like that, but I tie 2 other loops in it before I tie my actual hook length, like that. So that makes it a little bit more rigid. Now, I've just brought this in once from one cast, and it's been stripped, the bait's been stripped, so I know there's something out there. If it's small, I don't know, it might just be crabs, but not tangled. So that's the rig, and what I'm going to be doing is fishing a couple of rods out with small hooks for the whiting, and I've got a bigger rig on a pennel, and should I catch a whiting, I'm afraid I'm going to be posting him back out there deep for a cod or a bass as a bonus fish. Well, the weather's coming in, it's getting darker out there, the wind's freshening up. Pretty sure I'm going to get wet tonight. Might not be too nice, but you know, high tide just as you get dusk, it's good. It's got to be worth a shout, certainly. Okay, this is how I'm going to be hooking the ragworm on. This end here has pinchers in it, so I slot it straight through the pinchers end and just roll it around the hook, feeding the hook down the middle of the body, and roll it right around, pop it over the eye. I leave a little tag of knot just here, and I slide that one right up, and then as they're only small baits, I'm going to put a second one over the top, just like that, and roll it right round. I'm going to do that with both hooks, and that lays there, as you can see, like a really nice bait that's fit for a king or a whiting. There we go. Look, that didn't take long, did it? A small wrasse, and I mean a small wrasse. Looks like a little ballon, and I have to tell you, I've never even caught one off this beach before. It's like a little, I think it's a ballon wrasse, I'm not sure on those colours, somebody else might know. But that was on the worm, and unluckily for him, he's hooked just on the outside of the mouth. But not good eating fish, so he's going back. He's not the intended quarry, but there you go. We started off first fish of the session. Okay, that shows you the old ragworm works. Now this is how I put these sandals on. Straight single hook here. I just go through the eye sockets there. You go through the front of the eye socket, thread it round, keeping that shank of the hook right down the centre of the sandal, bring it out about an inch before the tail, and then pull it dead straight. Now when I cast, it's going to buckle up and do this. So what you do is you get some of this shearing elastic, just take an end and you wind it round and around and around the shank like this, all the way up and down, binding it to the shank and finishing off by the head, tighter and tighter and tighter, and then when you want to snap it off, it bites into the meat of the fish. Tug, 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 snap, pull it straight, just thread it straight like this. There you go. That's my sandal. So there we go, the first whiting of the session. Not a very big one, I think you'll agree, but it is a whiting. It hasn't got dark yet, and they really come on at night. And look at the size of the mouth, and you can see all these little pin teeth in here. So they're very aggressive feeders. A bit thin, this one, but I'll tell you what he does make, a very good bass or cod bait. So he's going to be returned with a very large hook in him. But we'll see if we can get some bigger whiting, because they're also good to eat as well. But there it is, we set out to catch whiting, and we got whiting. Can't do better than that. Well, we can. Bigger, more. Well, there we go. It didn't take long, did it? Just getting dusk, and there we are. There's Mr. White, a better size. He's absolutely eaten down that. Let's get that hook out, that sandal. There's the sandal with the elasticated cotton. I had a feeling that would work. It's just getting dusk. That's a nice little whitey. Not big enough to eat, but a bit of sport, isn't it, you know? And Gonna have to get my lighting system sorted out in a minute. It's getting a bit dusk now, but the trouble is I'm fishing, they're coming on the bite. About an hour to go to high water, so I think I've got 2 hours of fishing. I should get some more whiting, fingers crossed, before that bad weather comes. Gotta go, gotta get more fish. Ooh, lovely. Buddy, they're on the bite now. Big time. Well, I've blown out totally. It's got pitch black. I didn't do the tilly lamp, the little anchor lamp. I didn't get that going. I've got a head torch here. Thank goodness I've got the head torch. And the little needle I burnt that burns at the top of the lamp, I buckled over. So I've got no lighting. Fortunately, I brought a Q-beam torch with me. I've had 9 whiting now. They're on the bite. Rain's not come yet, so I'm going to tough it out a little bit longer. One guy's had a dogfish up there, and that's it. So I've been doing really well with the whiting, pleased with it. Oh, there's another one. That's a bite now. But the whiting are still going. Wow. There you go, guys. That just goes to show you. Another species, got a pouting this time. If you can see that in the lens there. Little pouting, so they're on the bite. Don't sit there in the armchair, just get out here freezing your things off, like me, catching fish, wrasse, pouting, and I guess I'm on about a dozen whiting now. Brilliant, that's what I call totally awesome beach fishing. But I'm not going home yet. There we go. 2 at a time, 2 whiting at a go. Still alive, put some back, keep some for eating. I think I'm on about 14 now. I really must go home, but people keep coming up and giving me bait. I've got to use it, haven't I? I've got to use the bait out. This time, no sandals, there's so much on the feed. That's straight ragworm. Brilliant. Totally awesome whiting fishing. Get some in. Ah, there you go, guys. This is what I'm really after. A really nice big whiting. This one is a totally awesome whiting. This is good eating as well. You fry them, just take fillets off them, but look at the mouth on it. And just look at those teeth. And I'm going from the sandals more to the worm, because people have been giving me some ragworm. And you know what, it's paying off. Really good. Big mouth. But the whiting I got out there, the real small one for the cod and the bass, untouched, I'm afraid to say. But we try to show you whiting, we've shown you whiting. Nice fish. Pass me that frying pan, please. The rain and the wind are here now. I'm tucked behind this breakwater, and if I put the camera up over the top, trust me, my head will come off. There you go. That's just a few of the whiting I've caught. 15 whiting, a pout and a wrasse, and all well, it's not even barely 7 o'clock. So get out of that armchair. It's not strictly come dancing. You guys should be out here with me, getting cold, strictly come fishing. Yet it's totally awesome.